Seasons, greetings, everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I wish you well. Wish you and your family, your friends, health and prosperity. From F.A. Chekki and my channel, Meta Messiah. From us to our family to yours, seriously, we wish you well. So with that aside, and for real, I mean it, this time of year we tend to reflect on things that are most important. With over 7,000 subscribers, while I don't know any of you really personally, I do thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I will say you've made this channel worth continuing as an outlet for me creatively and as a means of social media and expressing my views, which lately a lot have to surround crypto, blockchain, this new technology, this genesis of things with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And the channel has now evolved from an art channel to more or less talking about NFTs and crypto blockchain stuff. I do have my own NFT collection. You're welcome to look that up. We rebranded that to Meta Messiah from the previous project just because it's a more marketable name, and in NFT sales, marketing matters. Enough about my stuff. You can always look it up in my descriptions to my videos or seek out earlier videos on my NFT collection, which in 2023, I hope we can make a little bit of a comeback as crypto makes, hopefully, a little bit of a comeback. One of my favorite cryptos covered on this channel is Okinami token. It's not the only crypto I like. Okinami, though, I like it because it's the coolest story I've heard of all year. It's the coolest story I've heard since Shiba Inu came out. But I feel like this is like Shiba Inu reborn into what needs to be the token for solving many problems in the crypto space. More or less a layer 2 solution for Ethereum and ERC20 tokens. And for all we know from recent information, it could be some type of lending protocol involved in it where you use the token in some way to borrow money, to borrow crypto. I like covering crypto because it's so interesting to me, because it's not like stocks, it's not like bonds, it's not like other things. It is its own species of financial assets. And crypto is a technology and a value store. It's a store of value. Like art can be a store of value. Rich people buy gold, silver, commodities, and art in bad markets. Why? Because in good markets, it goes way up. And in bad markets, it doesn't do so bad, even though it can go down some. That's kind of what we've seen with the NFT market. On the one side, utility, on the other side, art. And the blending of the two. I see a comeback coming sooner or later for NFTs. A lot of interest peaked at the end of the year for some reason. But the institutions, the centralized beings and entities, such as now with Japan just did a number of things at the end of this year, including the approval of unbanning USDT, I think, stable coins being unbanned in Japan, which is going through a tough time in its economy, and the yen, the Japanese yen, has gone down the toilet. U.S. dollar being very strong. Foreign currencies, a lot of them really struggled since COVID and then the war in Ukraine. Crypto to me is a very interesting thing because not only is it a utility-based thing or technology, it serves as a practical function like fiat, and it does a lot more than money can ever do. It's fiat on steroids, and it will revolutionize the internet, just like the World Wide Web revolutionized business. If you recall, we had brick and mortar stores, things being sold at Walmarts and Macy's and Sears and all that. You bought things through the mail and catalogs, and then here comes along this internet, which has become the internet of all things, and it's the modicum of transaction. It's the mode of transaction now of ordering things, such as the big player Amazon. But we use fiat mostly through banks, electronic money through our Visa, credit cards. MasterCard, American Express, ultimately backed by this concept of fiat money wherever it sits in a bank, or we pay back the credit card if it's credit. Credit, since Visa and MasterCard came out, was the first funny money. Like in the 50s and stuff, where people start using credit, it wasn't like you signed a piece of paper, a line of note, like a promissory note, which is on paper. I'm obligated to pay that debt. It was a credit card agreement you signed, and you get this little plastic card. The plastic card bought you things, and then you had to pay it back. Or it was just now a debit card to debit out your bank account so you're not holding a bunch of cash or writing checks. A revolution in finance, a revolution in technology, in the way that things will be bought and sold on the internet. The internet's money. Technology and the internet's money. That is super fascinating in and of itself. It's an interesting story for anybody getting into crypto. And right now, a lot of people say crypto's dead. It's a lot of media. I even see some institutions and like guys like Kramer saying crypto's dead, don't buy it. And actually, when they're saying something's dead, that's when you buy it. Weirdly enough, you do the opposite, because the institutions, the people with lots of money, do not want everybody getting rich on this. They're hoarding the wealth for themselves, and the way that they play their game is through their media outlets. And through their media outlets, they're going to put in a lot of doubt into the public so that you don't buy it. So that guys like people like me sound crazy. We have to sound crazy right now until, lo and behold, people are making money on it all of a sudden again, like the dot-com boom and bust, and then all of a sudden, later 2006, 2005, started to make money again. And then Apple and Amazon, people make all kinds of money. Yahoo, if you bought Yahoo before the 1999 and the dot-com bust of that bubble, I could have got Yahoo at $1.50 a share, and the thing went up all the way to and split. And it also went up to $180. You would have made a ton of money on Yahoo. In fact, a lot of people did, and they sold at the top because they're like, this is a bubble. Okay. And then smart investors got into things like Apple, Microsoft, and the big tech giants, Google, of course, lots of them out there. But crypto is becoming here's the internet, and now here's Web3, and here's this technology of the internet evolving, and now there's this internet money. I like to think of Bitcoin and Ethereum as truly as they look like the gold and silver commodities of this internet world, where we need something to trade in it that people will impute value on because of faith, just like with paper money. I don't know what Okinami has planned. It's one of my favorite cryptos, but I think it's going to be something big in 23 and 24. The ETH Foundation, people are up to something. But there's going to be some other crypto projects, I do think, that will come into their evolution. I think SHIB will always be what it is, a gateway to crypto with video games. It gets young people. Shiba Inu is very cool. It's not dying. It's just really getting back to where it should be, necessarily in the bear market right now, tracing other tokens. But it still kept tons of value from where it came out. It's a great buying opportunity. People are going to make a lot of money on SHIB. I wouldn't expect necessarily those, type of moves that you'll see in other newer tokens, perhaps like with Okinami, where 100 times, 1,000 times because it's brand new. It's only hit 300%, I think, at most, from when it came out. But Shiba Inu into the thousands and thousands of percent up. It's reached a very high maximum of its value, but not to say it can't continue to go up some more. Of course it can. Anything with inflation, anything with buying and supply and demand. And when I say inflation, I mean things that grow, not like monetary inflation. But now that I'm talking about that, I'm going to go down that rabbit hole. Monetary inflation probably going to look a lot better in 23 and 24. And I think the worry is going to be deflation will be the new narrative coming soon. And it'll probably come up somewhere in 2023. They're saying inflation's now going down too fast. So now then the Fed's going from 0.5 to 0.25, saying, well, it's going down too fast. The Fed's always going to be like, yeah, it's working now. We're going to cut down rates to 0.25 and do it as long as we need to. And then the pundits out there, the media is going to be like, oh no, recession signs and deflation coming. I'm like, no, boom and bust. Boom and bust, boom and bust, boom and bust. That's just, you will see a recession when you see exactly like what happened in 2007, 2008 happen again. My guess is that banks and that are over leveraged in fiat are going to actually be the ones getting hit hard international. I'm not saying necessarily the dollar. Dollar's still going to be maintain some strength. But once the dollar hits its first major bear market, those signals for crypto are going to be huge. And when does that happen? Well, naturally, dollars, they have to go on a chart like any other. It's going to reach a nice height, and it's going to start coming down. And we'll see it in the charts will show it when it's confirmed, just like the bottom. Let's end right there. As inflation gets better, we start to see the bottom in crypto in 23 and 24 become a true confirmation. No one can pinpoint when, but I would bet money between 2023 and 2024 a bottom comes and a reversal of the market. And when it reverses, it's going to reverse violently upward and be very volatile for a while, and then it's going to make benchmark moves, 30K Bitcoin, 40, 50, 60, and on and on, until we reach the height of the next bull market. Some of who think Bitcoin in the next bull market is going to become a lot more than $100,000. It reached over 60 last time. The next move could be well over 100K. Ethereum hitting 10K. Some people think it's good. Ethereum in the next bull market is going to hit 10K. And I can see it doing 10,000. That's not out of line. But the thing is, as we look at the crypto market and the need for something to grow the economy, capitalism has to grow, has to expand. This makes sense, but nobody wants you to know that it makes sense. Everybody is going to give it a beating like they did to the dot-coms. Everybody's going to be like, oh no, Macy's, Sears, these companies are so strong. Sears has been around for over 100 years. Sears will continue to thrive. There's no way the internet will ever supplant it because mom and pop's going to go pick up a washing machine at Sears. Look at where Sears is now. The internet changed everything in the world, and it needs now its currency. It needs its technologies, its currencies, its commodities. Cyberspace is the future because until you go to outer space and are mining, H3 or whatever from the moon or whatever the precious metals are of the solar system, Adam Smith has never been wrong. Capitalism, it must expand or it will collapse. And that's where the elites, the money right now is like, oh yeah, crypto makes sense, but we can't let people like this thing. We have to bash it so we can gobble up as much as possible. Because what do you think the rich would do? The elites, those with all the money would do is that if around the planet we found a bunch of gold and silver stores that, like in the Old West, but we actually have a good idea of where all the gold and silver is, and they don't want the contractors to go there, or the contractors, what do they call them? Anyways, prospectors. They don't want the prospectors to go out and dig the gold and the silver. So what do? Hide the ball. Tell them to go somewhere else. Is going as far as taking some gold and silver and throwing it into some riverbeds away from the gold mines so that people start panning for gold over there. Find a big nugget, go to another spot, pretend you found it there. Those making all the money, the people who have the control, are going to make you look somewhere else for the gold and the silver so they could dig out all the gold and silver for themselves, and then tell everybody that there's too much gold and silver, it's worthless, and then they've accumulated so much, and then the economy turns around, and you need gold and silver because people don't like paper dollars as much like it back in the 1800s, and they'll be like, we need gold and silver is going up in value, and they've already dug it all up. Okay, and people start looking for it, be like, where is it? Well, you've hit your peak. You want it now because FOMO's now hit and you're at the top and you're buying it, and now you're going to lose a lot of money. And they're selling it after they bought it cheap. like right now. You don't have to believe me, but this has been the cycle in the stock market for decades on end and for a long time. Okay, the stock market, the crypto market has now entered into the same paradigm of how it's manipulated, more or less, with its good times and its bad times because of regulation and corruption and misuse and various stuff. Governments have all the control. But while they'll try to control it, it's gonna be a good time now to at least get it out of the way, regulate it as they will. The regulations won't kill it. They don't want to kill it. The government need it. They know they need it. Japan needs it. Everybody in the world now knows crypto is the only way to handle massive worldwide debt. And that's because people are going to start losing faith more and more in paper dollars, in fiat, in national currencies. And these communities will start to get so powerful with their crypto, they're leveraging it. Okay, it might be under $1 trillion now, but the community's still strong. The communities still are there. They'll be like, okay, beat it down to under $1 trillion. Take it down to $500 billion. Thanks, I'll buy more. Just like you rich people, just like you elites. So if you find a ground floor to a project when it just comes out, only put in what you can afford to lose. And again, my videos are not financial advice. They are not investing advice. This is pure entertainment only. But the common wisdom is buy when it's bloodiest in the street, put in only what you can afford to lose, and keep the rest for your living and your expenses. And then when times are good, take profits. But keep your long-term gains somewhere. But play the market as it starts to go into a bull market. I think at the end of 23 and into 24, we're going to see some major bull moves. It's going to be bullish. It's going to get bullish. So just accumulate like everybody. Relax, sit back. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy the new year. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, guys. Not a whole lot of news with Okinami, so I can't really tell you much, but we're all waiting on the roadmap and all the white paper stuff. It's going to happen when it does. I don't care. I'll just continue to enjoy watching the show and follow the story just like the rest of you. Just be patient. Again, happy holidays, happy new year, everybody. Thank you, Okinami Army, Nami Army, for supporting my videos. Please like, share, subscribe. Hit the button, subscribe. I'm going to conclude by saying this. 23, 24, it's going to be some interesting stuff to watch for the crypto markets. Later, and y'all have a great rest of 2022.